you like for Commissioner Eckhardt to be first?
Yes.
She looks right at home, doesn't she?
It's actually very nice to be here, you all. I'm Sarah Eckhardt. Every Tuesday, I'm reminded of how much I've learned from each one of you, and I do miss being here. I hope to be back sometime in the future. But today, I'm here as a resident of Travis County, and also I'm here as a resident with institutional knowledge that comes from 6 years on this court, as well as having been the chair of the Capital Area Metropolitan, or vice chair of the Capital Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, and on which we have our roadway plan, including our illustrative list that includes at least one of these roads. Also as the chair of the Community Action Network, working on many of the issues with economic development and the lack of opportunity, particularly in Precinct 4. The proposal described, that's before us today, is described as an economic development plan for Precinct 4, which I agree we certainly need an economic development plan for Precinct 4 specifically. I was very gratified and learned a tremendous amount from Commissioner Gomez and the work with Commissioner Davis on our Economic Development Subcommittee. We did some very good work there, I believe, and it produced a good document with regard to economic development policies moving forward with tax rebates. At the time we were working on that, Formula One and COTA came forward to us with a tax rebate proposal based on the economic development that it would provide to the county. And in that application, it stated that it would create 54 permanent jobs, with an asterisk beside it saying that some of those would be contract labor. So I want to be clear with regard to the actual economic development impact of COTA as an organization. That's not to say that there isn't tremendous spin-off value from an economic development standpoint, as Ms. Spataro outlined for us. But as we've seen from the actual numbers that have been reported out since the first event, most of that actual spin-off benefit occurs within the city limits of Austin, and most of the benefit is felt in the downtown area. That's a good thing, and we're happy for that. The downtown area of Austin is just as much a part of Travis County as any other. But where we really need true economic development, which means good jobs with good wages, good benefits, and good retirement, as well as affordable housing with utilities that are affordable, like water, which we don't have much of in eastern Travis County, particularly in Precinct 4, as well as transportation infrastructure and transit. That doesn't come from COTA. And it doesn't come from Travis County putting more of the public treasure toward this particular corporate entity in improving roadways that are specific to its use. So I am here. I don't want to turn this into political theater. My hope is that I could bring a proposal for us to move forward. And my commissioner, Commissioner Todd, has a good proposal in his backup memo to this item with regard to a stakeholder committee that would bring the individuals who will actually be impacted and already have been impacted together to discuss what they really need in terms of transportation for Precinct 4, not just for COTA. And I would ask that we actually expand the charge of that stakeholder group and look at the economic development that could come from this court working with City of Austin. As Commissioner Davis has so often said, we must get their buy-in, including their public treasure. But to have the City of Austin, Weberville, Manor, the Del Valle Independent School District, certainly the Emergency Service District number 11, which has been majorly impacted by this particular economic development, as well as other stakeholders, to discuss how we do create jobs, how we do build affordable housing stock, how we do bring in water infrastructure, and how we do bring in transportation infrastructure, including transit. I think we can get there. I don't think we will be able to have the kind of comprehensive response that we need in time for COTA, but that's really not our job. I think our job as a community is to find real solutions for all the residents of Precinct 4 and all the residents of Travis County, whether they live in the city of Austin, the city of Manor, or in the unincorporated area. And I would be happy to assist with any of that. I don't want to appear to be negative toward COTA. I think it's a good thing for our community. But I have stated a number of times, and I stand on it, that we need to ensure that we are getting a return on investment when we give public treasure to a private entity. We've already given a considerable amount. The state, the city, and the county has given a considerable amount to this particular entity. To give them more at this point without having answered the questions that Commissioner Todd put forward, or some additional questions that I would love to provide to you. I'm going to go through them very quickly because I don't want to take time from these other folks. But one question would be, let me scroll down to it, a full exploration of expanding the City of Austin's hotel sales tax to a county-wide hotel sales tax, as Commissioner Davis has so often advocated for, long before I was ever on the Commissioner's Court, and as Commissioner Todd puts in his memo. Another, a full and accurate accounting of all traffic, law enforcement, and emergency fire and medical costs of the first event at Formula One and similar events inside the City of Austin and the county. I don't want to single out COTA. And who paid for them. I know that the Austin American Statesman is here today, and they too have looked at some of the costs associated with these large events and who actually pays for them. A full and accurate accounting of the infrastructure and utility costs to support this venue and similar venues, because again, I don't think it's fair to single them out, and who paid for the infrastructure. I think through a deeper connection with our municipalities and our other stakeholders, we can come to a much better plan for the economic life of all of our residents. But it's going to take asking some hard questions and coming up with perhaps some novel solutions, one of which is the novel solution that Commissioner Gomez has put forward today. But I don't think that it should exist in a vacuum. Thanks for letting me talk today, and I'll close my computer.